Hello everyone, my name is Tom Go and today I'm showing you how to make the castle gate. Alright, so to open our castle gate, we hit the button and we stand back in amazement. I don't know why, I just love these doors so much. Where did that horse come from? But anyways, that kind of brings me on to my next point, is that this thing is 3 blocks tall, meaning you can ride past it in style. Once we're done with the horse, we can walk on through, close it behind us, and it closes just as cool. By the way, this will only work for Bedrock, so if you're in Java, you're better off jumping into that mode. I'm being serious. But anyways, the best part is actually its redstone, because this thing is pretty easy. Horse, you're going to fall into the moat. Sure, it's quite big, but then again, it's an absolutely huge door. But the redstone itself is pretty simple, and to expand it, all you have to do is repeat it. Like, it's not too bad, I promise you. But anyways, with that, I think it's time for me to show you how to build it. Alright, so to build it, you're going to need a 4 blocks wide area, and then you're at least going to need a 3 blocks long area. Then you kind of have to add on how big your door's going to be. So over here, my door's going to be 10 blocks long, so I've added that in to the actual dimensions. But let's say you're making your door 5 blocks long, it would be 4 blocks wide, but 3 plus 5 blocks long, making it 8 blocks long in total. And then since everyone's going to have slightly different heights, I'm not going to include that in the dimensions. But just so you know, this is how big it can be. Like, this is the max size, so it's not going to get any bigger than this. And so you build it in the right place. These grass blocks over here, they're the same as these grass blocks over here, and your door is directly 1 block in front of this. So grass blocks, door. So when you build it over here, your grass blocks will be here, your door will be right here. And this is your floor level. Oh, and just so you know, this is 3 blocks off the ground. Alright, so to build the main bulk of the redstone, this is everything you're going to need. And then per length of your door, this is everything you're going to have to get extra. So let's say you're like me, you're making your door 10 blocks long, you have to times everything in this shulker box by 10. So this shulker box basically equivalates to 1 length, like just this much here. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, once you got all that, we can start. Alright, so starting off, you want to come all the way to the right of your door. So this is going to be my first door block. And on this block, you want to place 3 sticky pistons facing upwards, like that. You then come another sticky piston to the right on the top, with an observer coming to the left if you're looking at it from the side, like so. You can then place a block on top of the sticky piston. And just so you know, I'm going to refer this side as the front, and that side as the back. So don't get confused, please. But you want to come round to the front, you want to place a piece of dust on the bottom like so. On this sticky piston, you want to place a half slab on the top side, with another bit of dust on top of that. Come round to the side, slab here, dust on top of that. You then come a block up like that, and finally another bit of dust on top of that. So for now we're going to get this one silo working, and then we're going to extend it all at the very end. But anyways, you want to come round to the front, you're going to place a 1 delay repeater, nope, that's a comparator, a 1 delay repeater, going into this first bit of dust, just like so. A solid block behind this repeater, dust behind that block, you then come round over here, and place another solid block like in front of this dust or behind it. And then you want to place your comparator going into that block. Block behind the comparator. You want to crouch and fly at the same time. And place the block on top of this comparator. Dust running along all these blocks, just like so. You then put dust on top of this dust. Nope, you then have to put a block on top of that dust. More dust on top of that. You then come to the floor. You want to look up, and on the side of this block, you want to place an observer facing downwards, just like so, with a 3 delay repeater coming away like that. Now bear in mind, this will make this thing mess up. That's okay, it will fix itself later. But you then want to place a block next to this slab with another bit of dust on top of that, like so. Alright, then from the front, you want to come round, and facing away from this block, so it's towards the back, you want to place a 3 delay repeater. You then want to put this into a block, dust down here so it connects with this slab. Then you want to come down to the floor, you want to place a repeater going directly into this repeater. This one should be set to 1 tick. You want to crouch and place an observer on top of that repeater, and finally dust on top of that observer. And believe it or not, that should be your triple piston extender done. So now we can test it out by simply placing an observer here, then just updating this observer. This will be temporary, so don't make it look nice, but when we update this, it should triple piston extend, then retract. Perfectly. So make sure you test it twice, just to make sure that it's working reliably. Perfect. Alright, so then we come around to the top, and you want to place 3 temporary blocks on top of this block here. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then you want to get your fences out. And now it's time for you to know how many layers of fences you want. Now bear in mind the maximum fences you can have is 9, but you can go all the way down to like 2 or 3 if you really want to. But yeah, the maximum is 9, but let's be honest, you're probably best going around the 6, 7, 8 mark. Then once you get your fences, and you want to stack up how tall you want to make it. So I'm going to go with 8 fences tall, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that, you can then remove these temporary blocks at the bottom, like so. Then on top of your fence post up here, you want to place 4 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Destroy the first 3 blocks. You then place regular pistons facing downwards, starting from that top block, and destroy this block, so you have something like this. So this is the thing that's going to push all your fences back down once they've been pushed up. You then come round to the back of your pistons. You can place an observer in this middle one, just on top of that. You can place an observer next to this first fence post, just on top of that. You don't want to leave a block. You can place this top half slab, so there is a block of gap in between. And finally, another bit of dust just on top of that. So it looks like this if I look at it from the side. Alright, so you then want to come around to the bottom again. You can place a temporary block to the right of this grass block. 2 blocks up, destroy these 2 bottom blocks. And then here's going to be where your first button's going to go. You then come 3 blocks away, so 1, 2, 3. Destroy the middle 2 blocks. Then here's where your second button is gonna go. And so around the back of the first button, you're going to put a block down, block to the right, destroy this block. Then you want to place the dust on top of this block, like that. Then on the back of this other button over here, block down. But this time you want to place a half slab with dust behind it, like so. Then place the block to the left of it. Get yourself a repeater out. A repeater coming away from the dust, with a solid block in front of it, like that. You then want to get your copper bulb out. You want to whack it just next to this dust. So it's like right next to the block the dust is sitting on. Then come a block to the right of it. A block down, destroy this block. You can place a comparator coming away from the copper bulb. The comparator should go into a solid block with a sticky piston facing downwards in front of it and an observer facing downwards below the sticky piston. So it looks like that. Now you want to make sure that this comparator is currently off, but then what you want to do is you want to tower it up in torches. So you place a torch, you place a block, you place a torch, you place a block until you get to the very top. Like that. Now what's important is that the last torch you place is turned on. So let's say you got to this height and this torch is off. What you can do something like this where you go off to the side real quick and then place the torch, and you can see it's now changed to be the off status. But since it was fine perfectly for me the first time, I'm going to keep it like that. But just make sure that this top torch is on. You then place a sticky piston on top of this torch with an observer coming away from it facing to the right with a solid block in front of it. Now this won't be the same for every one of you, since of course all the heights are slightly different, but as long as you have a sticky piston connected to this torch, which connects to an observer, which then somehow connects to this dust up here, you should be good. So you could have also gone out to the side like that and done it that way, or over here I literally just connected it straight to the dust since it lined up perfectly for me that time. But as long as this piston is extended and the observer is connected to the dust, you should be good. Alright, so now you can come round to the bottom and we can actually test it out. So when we hit this button, our triple piston extender should extend. Perfect. And then when we hit it again, it should close. Very nice. And then it should open. And it should close. Perfect. So now that it's done that, we can now extend it. And just so you know, the maximum length you can have this thing before it breaks is 13 blocks long. So you can have it 13 blocks long, but then you'd have to use repeaters to carry it on, and it gets a little bit messy since you'd have a 1 block gap where there just isn't a door. So I'd recommend just don't go past 13 blocks. Like 13 blocks is plenty big enough, I assure you. But anyways, to expand it, all you have to do is essentially get what we've done here and then like drag it over. So we extend this redstone dust all the way. We put a layer of pistons. We put a layer of slabs, a layer of dust, a layer of slabs. That's terrible slab placement. A layer of dust, sticky piston, more pistons, and then go blocks over here, just on top of them blocks, sticky pistons, observers coming towards you like that, blocks in front of them. So if you look, you can see I've literally just like dragged it and copy and pasted it like 11 times. That's terrible maths. 9 times. Then you have to do the same thing with the fences. So literally just drag and copy everything all the way to the end. Like so, and now that we've reached the top, you want to drag and copy all your pistons along, going all the way to the end. I am having difficulty placing blocks today. My. So just drag all of it to the very end, like you're literally copy and pasting it a few times over. And then when we get to these observers over here, instead of placing observers the entire way down, because that'd be very expensive, all you have to do is place slabs for every one that isn't the very first one. So just use slabs instead of the observers. And then the last one now, just drag that across, doesn't it? Then it should look something like that. So now when we hit this button, it all should open. Perfect. We can walk on through or fly on through. When we close it, it should all close behind us. And then it can open again. Perfect. Now all that's left for you to do is to decorate this thing. Now hopefully you can do a bit of a better job than me. But you can see where I'm going with it. Oh my gosh, I just realised how bad that arch is. That's shocking. But when we hit this button, it all closes. When we hit it again, it all opens. And just look at that. It's so good. Anyways, that is tutorial done. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Or even better, join the Discord. But that's all from me. And I'll see you all later. Have fun with your new 3 high castle gate. Bye.